We're live. This is day two of Almost Human FanCon, and I'm here with voice actor Joe Smith. And
Hi
we're
there.
waiting on Darren Scott. So just give us a few minutes before we really get this started.
I put some Google Draw thing on my face now. I get it off. There we go. All right. Back to Q&A. Well, welcome everyone. I know we're still waiting on some people, but thanks for having me. Hold on, let me put on my monocle.
You're having too much fun with this, Joe. Well, you can't say that because there's no such thing as too much fun.
Let's see. This could get trippy. Welcome to the Almost Human FanCon. Dog off my face. Thank you. That's what I went to acting school for. So I can figure out how to put digital mustaches on myself. There people. There we go. Crimes Against Humanity. It's a coming.
To those of you joining the YouTube stream, we are still waiting on Darren, although we probably will get started in a little bit, and hopefully he'll be able to join in uh, before he has to go. But you can submit questions or requests for Joe's MX voice on the YouTube comments, or tweet them. And if you can't get in the Hangout itself, uh, we are going to be playing Cards Against Humanity and uh, may have room for an additional player, at least until Darren can get on. But I'll link that Cards Against Humanity game um, once we get started, and people can spectate if they so desire.
Cool, cool. Dana, by the way, I have only seen a couple of episodes of Teen Wolf, but some friends of mine write and edit, or used to write and edit for it, so I had a little inside knowledge at the time. It looks like a really fun show. I can see it being a guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure for years has always, this is so lowbrow, but it has always been America's Funniest Videos. I can't, the old person just, wiping out trying to get out of a boat or on a trampoline gets me every time.
Hey, that's a classic.
Yep.
That's my
It
childhood.
hasn't been on for 1,000 years for nothing.
Okay. Darren says that he's joined and has the feed, but I'm not seeing him
Did
in here, so this is very frustrating.
you join last year's?
Well, I did, yeah, he was
No, I
the
just
one
meant like, did he
working
actually
with
click,
him.
now click on last year's thing?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I gave him the direct link. Says he said has the feed though. How did you guys that are in here get in? Maybe we can do some back troubleshooting.
I think I did just use the link. Or you can maybe search if you go to like Google Hangouts. Let's see. Oh, hello, Melinda Baylor. Um, oh, yeah, I think if you kind of go to Google Hangout search and then do a search term for FanCon, that'll probably take you there as well. Oh, I apologize in advance, by the way, for anybody who's listening. Like, I have no, if you were hoping for any sort of inside track on knowledge about like this show's chance for coming back or any other meetings or anything like that, I'm so low on the totem pole. I do not know. I've not heard anything. But so I'm not really in a position to answer any questions about the show or the rest of the cast. But just just some guy here. But here's hoping to.
I
Okay, let's
actually recently read a article that they're doing a Blade Runner sequel, and I'm just
with
uh,
with Harrison Ford.
with Harrison Ford, and I'm just like, why? You
Uh,
could be making almost human movies.
yeah,
Why would you? Why? I'm so frustrated.
that's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
Um, I got a question. Joe Maryland, hey, what was the most fun about working on the Almost Human show? Um, oh, it was fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get like the show shot in Vancouver, and I was like my part, in the show always came after. They'd shoot it, they'd have the rough cut, and then I would just come into a sound studio in LA and try to match, my voice, match the sound to it. But it was still I got to meet a couple of occasionally the cast members would have to come into the studio as well to do their what's called ADR, additional dialogue recording. I met Minka Kelly one of the times I was there. She was very sweet. But it was just a lot of fun. It was a really great group of people I was working with. The editors and the sound guys, and we kind of got into a nice rhythm because it's very technical. I'm in a studio. They play back a scene with the little beat track, and then at the part where I'm supposed to come in, one of the MX actors, their voice would drop out, and I'm trying to match exactly their mouth movements to my voice. But we got in a kind of nice rhythm. The director and the editor and the post production guy, and so just it was really fun people. But it would have been cool to have been able to make a set visit and see all the guys. So that's that, Marilyn. Thank you for asking. Let's see. Hold on back to. All right, we got new
Do
people
you
in.
want to
Russell.
go ahead and tell us something that you're working on now, or
Sure. There's and somebody else chimed in. Are you normally a voice actor? Do you do live acting too? I've done all sorts. I'm like most actors out here. I do a little bit of a lot of different things. I started off in theater in Boston. My folks ran the theater company in Massachusetts for years. That is now under 9 theaters now. But did whatever I could get my hands on as an actor in Boston theater, indie films, voiceovers, commercials, that kind of stuff. And I've been in LA for about 13 years now, and do I'd say commercials and voiceovers are kind of my bread and butter. I haven't done. I've done plenty of like live on camera stuff. These days, again, it's been the bread and butter. It's been commercials. I do the Cheez It commercials with the Talking Wheel of Cheese guys. I've got a Verizon spot that's airing now, and just some other big parts in small movies, small parts in big movies. And within voiceover, it's often commercials or trying to get more into animation, do some video games, that kind of stuff. So it's a little of everything. And Tori, what did you ask? I started getting to the voice actor
oh,
question.
I was just saying if you wanted to tell us about what you were currently working on. So,
Oh, yeah. Again, it's the I tell people, 95% of most actors' work is looking for work. So you're writing things on spec, you're meeting people, you're auditioning. So as I say, commercials and voiceovers are kind of what pay the bills at the moment. I still do although I've been remiss about it this year, an NPR parody show called IPR, Irrational Public Radio. That's sort of my labor of love project. So if you want to check out irrationalpublicradio.com, you can hear should be a pretty fun public radio parody. I'm not really Javert, by the way. Good to know. Good to know because I am not really Jean Valjean, so don't come looking for me. Uh, but yeah, it's a fun. It would have been great to have Almost Human continue, but it was a really fun process while it lasted, and always auditioning for new stuff. It's pilot season. I did a pilot that they're trying to shop around now. I did a short film that should be done in probably about, I don't know when it'll be posted or somewhere, but I know they're finishing up editing it. It's a really fun short called Back to the Fuhrer, about two guys who go back in time to try and kill Hitler. They find him as a baby, and the kid who's actually playing Hitler is the real life son of the guy who wrote it, and the other guy who's in it. So it should be a lot. All right.
we did have a new Q&A question. I'm going to select it so you can go ahead and
Oh,
answer it.
yes. Just I have your voice as an alarm sound. Have you recorded an audiobook? I haven't recorded an audiobook. That's another, it's funny, within sort of the voiceover world, it gets really segmented. So there's people who just do audiobooks, there's people who just do movie trailers, there's people who just do voice match of celebrities. I like doing a little bit of a lot of different things. I've done most of those, but I haven't done an audiobook. But I definitely, that's another, it's one of those, you're trying to get so many plates spinning in the air all at the same time. But I think an audiobook would be a lot of fun. I'd like to give that a shot. So I'll let you know. I'll post it someplace. That's what the kids do. They Reddit it, whatever. Let's see. Did you watch the episodes when they aired? Um, Almost. I don't actually have regular like TV service, or I have an antenna that picks up like one channel. So I have all the streaming things: Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. So for Almost Human, I think it was Hulu that it would be on. I'd usually watch it the next day. So I wouldn't be watching it live with everyone, but I'd watch it the next day. And they often, and you guys, a lot of you may know this, it was interesting to see which one would air because they moved the episodes around a bit. They moved, okay, well, we thought what we thought was it going to be episode 4. Let's move that to 6. Let's move this around. So the timeline kind of jumps all over the place, so I wouldn't even know what I'd be seeing. Um, what I was about to see when they would air it. But I have seen them all. They're wonderful to watch. I have that vain actor thing of hearing myself. I'm like, oh, I was off on that. Oh, that wasn't. Yeah, just self-critical. It was great, and it's funny and bizarre to see my voices coming out of the Anthony and the other MX guys. What kind of audiobook would you like to record? Fantasy, kids, sci-fi? A sci-fi one would be great. One of the things that gets tricky with audiobooks is when there's a lot of dialogue from a lot of different characters. And even though you're not doing necessarily a whole fully fleshed out character and voice for each character, you want to make it clear to the person listening to it when it's a new person talking or whatever. So you might have a discussion between three women, and all of a sudden I have to try to come up with three women's voices without sounding completely ridiculous. That hasn't come up yet. But yeah, it'd be great to do a sci-fi book. I was just reading a book of the greatest time travel short stories. I read one by Arthur C. Clarke. So like, it'd be fun to just do something kind of a little creepy and sci-fi. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if I've got the voice for that. I tend to do deeper voice guys deeper voice guys for that. Please send me questions to the Q&A chat, not this chat. Okay, oops, all right, that's all right. All right, let me check that. See that. I'm getting used to this Q&A format, so thank you for bearing with me. Alrighty. How did you get into this line of work? As I mentioned, my folks ran a theater company in Massachusetts that they founded when I was 2. So I didn't act as a kid, but I was always around it. And it never, uh, it never seemed like a lot of kids who grow up to be actors of some sort. They have to make this. It's this like fantasy, like, oh, it's playtime. It's this fantastical world of pretending in the spirit of Thespis and magic fairy dust, and let's go play. And because my parents were in the business and they were administrators, they were a producer and a marketing PR person, I had this very kind of nuts and bolts practical understanding of theater and stuff. So even though I didn't, as I say, perform as a kid, I was exposed to it. I saw it a lot. It wasn't a leap of the imagination to think, okay, this is something that a person can do for a living. And then my high school didn't even really have much of a drama club or any classes. Started doing it at Syracuse when I went there, and did it in Boston for a while, both at my parents' theater and excuse me, and beyond, and just kind of was able to do it. So kept on doing it. That scenario might have changed if I, did it for 10 years and still had to wait tables and stuff, but I've been very lucky that I haven't in a long, long, long time. So that's, yeah, one thing kind of breeds another, and sometimes you get into stuff. A friend of mine who was also a Boston actor, we both do voiceovers, and we both kind of fell into it backwards. He was a radio guy, and I ended up doing voiceover just because when I was in Boston, there weren't that many young actors out there, so there weren't that many young people to do it. And my friends phrased it in a way that kind of stuck with me. He goes, sometimes you just embrace what embraces you back. And so we just kind of both fell backwards into voiceover, but we had fun with it. We kept on working, and yeah, it went well. Chat. It's just some technical stuff. My age is showing. I can't figure anywhere to type. Yes, I have a very much love-hate technology relationship myself. When it's working for me, it's fantastic. I do my auditions from home in my closet, in my pajamas, and I send them in. But then when it's not working, or all this, every time there's a new thing, like, I don't understand Facebook now. It's new. Grumpy old man. Maybe in a different place. Okay, Joe, where do you go to get the Q&A tab on your screen? I go to the left-hand side of this chat. Oh, see, now it's not coming up. Oh yeah, if you kind of go to the left-hand side of the chat, a bunch of icons come up. The top one is the chat icon, and then like 4 down is a little Q&A speech bubble icon. So I'm not sure if it's on every OS like that, but I'm on someone else's computer on an OS which I'm unfamiliar. So, all right. But yes, thank you guys again for doing this chat. I've been remiss with any sort of tweeting or updating on my site about it, but thank you guys for coming out. Excuse me.
Learning
Not
new
to be.
things every day. Apparently, I have control over who is actually on the main screen, and I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought it just like popped up whoever was talking because
Right.
that's what I thought it was doing earlier, but I don't know how this flip-flops back and forth. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Marilyn asks, "Do you have to do various accents?" I do. Obviously, I did not for Almost Human. That didn't really come in, but yeah, all the time I get asked to do accents for one various thing or another. I just yesterday auditioned for my agents know sort of well, they tend to know who can do which accents well, and I can do a number of them well. So I did one audition yesterday. They wanted a it's funny, they wanted a Russian accent but slight. They said we don't want Boris bad enough. We don't want Boris bad enough here, but we want a slight Russian accent, which is almost hard to do. And it's not my best accent. I'm going all over the place. It's not my best accent. I was in a voiceover class yesterday as well, and they were trying to do some sort of southern character like a mater from. And I kept going into Don Knotts, no matter what time. I kept trying to do a kind of an older southern thing, and it kept going into Don Knotts, which was my original choice for the MX voice. They passed on that.
Okay, so what's your favorite accent or voice to do then?
Well, it's funny. And this happened. I read for something the other day with this as well. They often will want a Boston accent, which I can do because I'm from there, and it's another one. It's one of those ones that a lot of people say they can do, and it just sounds kind of harsh on the air if you're not doing it right. It's harsh on the air even when you are doing it right. But I grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I lived there for like 20 years, so I can. It's nice when something calls in for that. It's very natural for me. I could do this one in my sleep. I just woke up. I don't have to think about it, and so that one's kind of fun to do. I've done various British accents, Southern. Um, Sometimes it's interesting. They'll want like a mix of one. Like they'll say like European but indistinct. We don't want German. We don't want Russian. We just want something kind of Eastern European, but you can't place it just because they don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
Yeah, or Irish or something like that. So I do accents that there's a little when you do your profile, they'll say like, all right, which accents can you do, and two, one, two, or three, how good? Because they don't want the Dick Van Dyke, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Do you speak other languages? Have you recorded anything in another language? Nine. I hablo español solamente un poquito, pero no trabajo en español. That's about it for the other languages. There are people. There are a lot of actors. I know a lot of voiceover actors who do both Spanish and English, and they work a lot in both. And there's a whole new world of work opens up to you if you can speak another language. I love like and you'll see sometimes American actors. Was it or English anyway? Tilda Swinton did a movie in Italian, I think. It's intriguing to me when actors can do that. Okay, some tech stuff. Okay.
Okay, guys, let me request real quick. If you're not asking questions or if you've already asked some questions, if you can step out for a second because I think somehow, even though only 6 people are showing, that the Hangout might be tagged as full, and so Darren might not be able to actually get in, which of course is a problem. So if you can step out for a minute, um, and then you can come back after, you know, we
I
get
promise not to say
everyone.
anything incredibly interesting until you get back.
Well, they can still see you from the
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
Your Spanish is really good, actually. Gracias, muchas gracias. I live in a mostly Mexican neighborhood, so I have some opportunity to use it. There was a guy in a supermarket, in a local supermarket, and the supermarket's no longer there, but he could like it's rare. There are few enough white people in my neighborhood that I get like people like, oh, you're that guy again. And so there was the deli guy who would knew that I spoke a little bit of Spanish and would always try to coach me and about like trying to put in my word. Oh, dos pechugas de pollo por favor y libra y media de puerca. Gracias. But now the store is gone. So bring my Spanish where I can. Let's see. I'm scared I won't be able to get back in, so I'd like to stay. It's a common fear. Hope everybody else's day is going well, by the way. I don't know if you're all East or West Coast. It's a little on the early side here. I don't know when YouTube is. Just making some brunch. Just everybody bring bagels. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Okay, Dana, could you step out for a minute? We're still showing, I don't know. We're at like 4 people in the little round robin thing at the bottom, but then it says 7 viewers. So I don't know if that's talking about the YouTube page or the people that are in here that can be in the chat and ask questions and stuff. So this is so frustrating. Google Hangouts, why must you be so unfriendly?
I'm sorry, Tori. That's really frustrating.
He's saying that he's like calling, but I'm pretty sure that you're not supposed to call to join the Hangout, right? Like you did when you clicked on the thing, did it say like you were calling or did
No,
it
I think
just
it just
next to
said
you?
join the Hangout.
Yeah. So frustrating.
You have to do an audition to AH, or were you asked? Thank you, Marilyn, for asking that. I did audition, but it was a small. A lot of times, especially with voiceover auditions, they'll cast a pretty wide net. So they'll and a lot of voice actors audition from home, myself included. These days, have a little home recording setup. So whereas it used to be back in the old days, it used to be if they were casting a voice role, you would have to drive to a certain place that had the microphone, and everybody auditioned on the same microphone at the same setup, and so you'd have maybe 30 people auditioning for a role. Now, with so many people able to do it from home, they solicit a lot more, so you could be one of several hundred. Um, this one, fortunately, they just wanted to bring in initially just a short list to see if they could, not have to listen to 800 or whatever. So I knew the casting director. She put me on, they auditioned, I don't know how many, but a small group. And I just laid down some material at home, and they cast me from that. So, yeah, pretty, excuse me, straightforward way. But of course, they cast me. They're like, okay, we like what you did, but now we'll pull this back, make it a little more of that. They didn't want a real staccato kind of Hal 2000 voice, but they didn't want it too colloquial. It wasn't like Dorian either. They wanted to make it. He's obviously very colloquial, very human sounding, human, and they wanted something a little different than that. So yeah, it was kind of a neat gig. As I said, it's very technical because I'm locked into what the picture is, what Darren and the other guys would have said on camera already. And when I go into the studio, I actually am one of the few people who get to hear their actual voices, the MX live actors' actual voices, because they say their lines live. It's recorded, and then I watch a bit of that clip going back into the studio and try to do their lines over theirs. They plug them in, so of course, so they all sound the same. Just found out. Oh, where to ask questions? Yay! All right. Technical issues are being figured out. The little card against humanity. There's a John there.
If you clicked in through the Google Hangout to join conversation, the way to ask questions is to hover over the little box at the top. It has like it's a picture of a grid, and change to Q&A, and then you should be able to put in your questions.
If anybody, by the way, has while trying to find a way to help with Darren, request for you, Joe. You saying something before. You mentioned John Valjean. I'm going to ask you to do now, right? I can't do it full volume because I've got someone sleeping in the other room as well. And it's hard to do the quiet because the only one I know is "Who am I? I'm Jean Valjean." But you got to do it properly. You got to really belt it. Can't belt it right now. But I think if I know any other master of the house. I don't really sing. I don't sing professionally. I've done a couple of like shows with some minor singing bits in them, but I'm not a song and dance man overall.
It sounds like
Um,
you have a pretty decent set of pipes.
oh, thank you. Well, it's funny. I was saying some of this the other day. I've never, been much of a singer, but I've done, crazy voices for a while. Even when I was doing theater back in Boston, I've done a number of shows where it's, been a couple of shows where it's two actors, but playing a bunch of different roles, and there are a lot of real quick costume changes, a lot of underdressing, a lot of Velcro. So you'll be in one character, walk off stage, there'll be two dressers, just kind of rip the outer layer of stuff off you, and you go back in 4 seconds later as someone else, and everybody's got a different voice. And I was doing a show called A Tuna Christmas. It was really this broad comedy, and again, just me and one other guy doing like 30 different characters that way. And of course, trying to come up with interesting different voices from them. They're all from Texas, so trying to come up with, 15 different Texan voices. And I got like a bad cold partway during the run, and so I'm still trying to figure out what voices I can do. And like I managed to get through the show, but all of my characters had a cough drop that evening. Um, so like, you just gotta roll with it. You have a cough drop. Someone's coughing on the way outside. Uh, da, da, da. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I think I'm in love, Maya Rory. Thank you. I don't know if that was.
Dang, there's Darren in the
Hey, Darren.
Q&A, but he's
Oh,
not. He's still not in the Hangout. Ah, it's so
I didn't see the
frustrating.
him. Hi, Darren. I don't know if you can hear me, man. But good to see you.
Yes, he
Hey!
joined the video call.
Hey!
Victory.
From my phone.
Look at that. On your phone, nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Darren. I'm sorry that was such pain.
No worries, no worries. I'm here. My video's not moving, but that's okay. I can hear you guys. So
All right. How you doing, Darren?
good. Good to meet you finally. Good to meet my voice that I had
Exactly.
listened to for 6 months on TV. So
We have not met, everyone. We've had some tweets back and forth, but we've never actually met. Are you in Toronto?
I'm in LA right now, actually.
Oh,
Both Anthony are in LA, just reading for pilot season. I'm heading back to Vancouver tomorrow, and Anthony is, I think, the end of next month. So
nice, nice.
yeah,
Welcome to town. That's where I am.
yeah.
Sweet, sweet. How's pilot season going?
Read for a couple of things since I was here. Had a meeting and stuff, so it's been good. So, are we on the air?
Yes,
We
we
are.
are on
Yes,
the
I'm sorry.
air.
Just chit chat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you.
So
Okay, I'm ready for questions if anyone still wants to talk to me. So,
just a formal welcome to you for AHFanCon. Thank you again for joining us. And do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now, or what you have been working on lately?
not too much. Just been in LA, just meeting with people and trying to finish up this short film I did a few years ago or a couple of years ago in Hong Kong. It was about a serial killer. But the director unfortunately passed away 6 months after we shot it, so it's been a bit of a struggle to collaborate with who's left to try to finish it. But hopefully we can get that done. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with me right now.
I saw that you won an award, though. Can you tell us about that award?
Oh, last summer I was inducted into the U.S. Masters Hall of Fame for Martial Arts, receiving the Living Legend Award due to my accomplishments in film and TV and being a martial artist. So that was really, really cool. I met uh, some of the stars from the old martial art films, all the American ones like uh, Nacho Camacho and people like that. So that was pretty cool.
That's great, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Very cool.
All right. I think we might be able to start the Cards Against Humanity game. If Darren, are you gonna be able to play, or are you just gonna
I'm just
spec?
on video, so I don't know. I'll do my best, but
I put a link in your Facebook for the game. Um, But
I'm on the
you're
game
not
board, but
if you don't have like computer access, it might not be able to play. But it's pretty simple. You don't really have to do much except select cards. So
Okay.
I'm on the page. It says waiting for players. I'm not sure what to do from here. It's got a bunch of
oh
different
yeah,
cards.
you don't have to do anything yet. I'm waiting to start the game to
Oh,
see
I
if
see.
I was waiting until Darren could come in.
Oops.
So for those of you watching, after we figure out whether Darren can join, I'm going to post the link to the Cards Against Humanity game, and you can spectate uh, directly from there too.
I'm on the page. Oh no, is that me? Just heard my own voice jabbering on there. Sorry about that. Hi, new person, Dana.
Hi.
Ding.
Hi, there are people awake in my house now, so.
Okay, okay. Then I'll shout real loud. Wake up! Bring her some juice. She's thirsty.
No, please no.
Bring her some coffee. She's thirsty. Is that better?
I think you're making things difficult for her. MX style.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Cards Against Humanity is like Mad Libs on crack, and it's just ridiculous. And for this convention, I've created an almost human themed deck with the help of where did she go? Oh, Melinda, right? Melinda sent in a bunch of suggestions for cards, and I just basically ran through my mental library of almost human related terms to make some cards, and hopefully it works out. I've never done that before, so yeah, we'll see. Darren, were you able to get in the game?
I don't think so. I don't even have the invite on my Facebook for some dumb reason, so I think I'll just watch. That's all right.
That's fine. Okay, so Joe, I would like to request that when you're the card czar, that you read the card options, the black card and the white card, in the MX voice, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. I'm still not sure what. Like I'm not looking at anything that looks like a game.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet.
Okay. Just making sure. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is wait for players and click start game. We have players. I am clicking start game. Oh. Alright. Might need to really, is this gonna do this to me? And then for any other round you can just react however you know normally would. You don't have to do anything special in the MX voice, but
Sounds good.
oh my goodness.
Cards are.
It's not letting me start the game. Maybe it timed out because I was like taking so long to start it, but it shouldn't. Frustrating.
I'm not timed out. It seems like it's fine to me.
Alright. Well, while we're waiting, let me see if there's any Q&A questions that you guys can answer.
I keep shaking the world here.
You can ask questions by voice too, right? Because
Sure.
the Q&A thing is just not happening for me.
Yeah, mine either.
No, you don't have to use that if you're in the Hangout. But let me publish this question for Darren. Darren, can you see this question?
No, just read it to me. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Marilyn asks, what was the most fun for you in doing Almost Human?
I think the most fun with me was just working with the cast and the crew. There was obviously a lot of bonding between Garfield, Anthony, and myself, and we still talk a lot all the time. We try to get together whenever we can, and I really miss those guys. And I think also we developed quite a bond with Michael Leahy because he was playing similar type of character as we were. So I really miss him as well. I really miss working with him, and I know he's moved on to another show, and I hope he's doing really, really well. And of course, wish him all the best.
Um, we have a question from the Skype chat for you, Darren, whether you had a hard time keeping a straight face, or whether you guys had a hard time keeping straight faces.
I'm trying to think if there was a moment. I mean, definitely during rehearsals we couldn't because it was just so much fun. But um, Michael was always the kind of person who always made people really want to try to laugh. So I think he would try to make us break sometimes. But I think we just got used to it after a while. We were able to keep a straight face. But like I said, Michael would just kind of try to make us break character sometimes. So it's part of being an actor. You've got to be able to do that, and especially when you're doing a scene where it's funny. That's the challenge of trying to stay serious when your character has to stay serious. So I'm sure there was times that came up. I just can't think of anything specifically right now.
Was there ever a gag reel that you're aware of that made from outtakes on set?
There may have been. If it exists, I don't know about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there is one somewhere.
There is a gag reel on the DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, it is so short. It is
Yeah.
ridiculously short. I'm sure they could have come up with a lot more material, and they shorted us.
Oh.
Sometimes gag reels too, like it has to be like the right, because I'm sure stuff, gets people do it wrong all the time. I would do it just even in the studio, but it's not always funny. Like, if I know I've screwed up things where I just get the line wrong or some technical bit, and like it's not entertaining. It's just I got the line wrong, like I just did now. But it looked like it would have been a fun set. I'm sorry I wasn't ever able to have an excuse to be up there myself. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Would have been fun to have all four of us meet.
Yeah. If it had gotten picked up for a second season, I would have pushed to be like, maybe we meet the guy who did the voice originally. He shows
I'm
up.
sure we would have met at like a fan con or a Comic Con or something at some point if that had happened. So.
Has anybody listening? Have you guys been to any of the Comic Cons or any of those?
No, not at all. Not at all. I will share a funny story actually though, because I remember like when the pilot premiered when we premiered back in November 2013. My mom was watching the show with me, and yeah, she insisted that it was my voice. I'm like, Mom, it's not my voice. She's like, well, maybe they like digitized it or something, or changed it. Or I'm like, no, Mom, it's not my voice. Trust me, I didn't say the lines that way. They changed the tone a bit, and it's totally not my voice. It's the same voice for everybody. She's like, well, it sounds different. I'm like, no, Mom, it's not. It was quite funny trying to convince her at first, but she figured it out eventually.
Well, now at least I know I can call your mom and pretend to be you.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember hearing that. I can't remember who told me this. I think one of the editing guys that when they premiered the promo for Almost Human before it came out, but played the promo at Comic Con.
That's cool.
They got a great reaction, and the best reaction of the whole thing was you getting pushed out of the car.
Yeah, I still get people talking about that all the time, and it's great. It's definitely going to be one of my most memorable moments on TV for sure.
There you go.
I know a lot of people can't get enough of replaying that scene. So it's funny. It's very comedic.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, in a real life situation, it would have been a very expensive joke, but
Right.
if it was a real life situation, but it was really funny, and I was really glad when I was asked to do that role or that specific part. So I was really, really excited about that.
Out of curiosity.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just interrupt for a second because I was finally able to start the card game. So,
We got here.
unfortunately, it does have the full deck, but I have over 100 Almost Human cards in there, so hopefully
We'll
we
make it
get
work.
some of them. The first one was an Almost Human card, and I'm
So I
not
see
sure who
the
the cards are is, but
I see the blank ones. I see the black one with the blank spots. And do you guys pick which white ones go in there, or do I pick?
you must be the cards are this round. So
It
Yes.
that
says
means
Socioban. Socioban.
oh,
The
Sosibon is
cards are.
okay.
Don't mind him. He's grumpy on the outside and smirking androids on the inside. That seems like the appropriate choice for today. Smirking android.
Yeah,
Oh no, did
I
I
was
get?
kicked out of the game
Oh,
Yes.
for being idle too many rounds.
same. And I'm the
That's what you get for not participating.
I was
Yeah.
trying to get it working, and I was.
I'm just looking.
Whoops.
Okay, I can usually join, presumably.
Agnes. Hello.
Ciao!
It's like, who's talking to me on?
I'm not playing.
No, it's all right. Just saying hello.
Agnes, hi.
Ciao.
Hello.
Hi, Lady. Ciao.
Oh,
Ciao.
Wow, this is cool. Sorry. First time I do this. Don't mind me.
That's all right.
All right, did it like? Are you guys still in the game?
Let me check. I got kicked out a minute ago. Yeah, I'm kicked out. Let me see if I can find it again.
while we're waiting, can I ask Darren a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Darren, what areas or buildings in Vancouver would you suggest that Almost Human fan not miss if we were to visit?
Oh, sorry. What set in Vancouver was?
I think there was just saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, I mean, if an Almost Human fan was to visit Vancouver, where do you suggest we not miss around the city?
Definitely there's a BC British Columbia Institute of Technology. It's like an aeroplan center, basically, aerodynamic center where they, I think, teach aerodynamics. It's very close to the airport in Vancouver. That was used as the exterior of the police station and also some of the interior shots as well. So definitely check that out. It's called I think the BCIT Aerodynamics Center or something like that. It's really cool. There's an airplane museum in there as well. So definitely check that out. And just trying to think about where some of the other stuff. I mean, most of the other stuff was in the studio, but that set deck has been I think sold to another production company, so you wouldn't be able to see that at all. There's just various areas of downtown, nothing specifically. I mean, we shot some stuff in BC Place as well, especially the scene where Anthony Konechny's MX gets shot in the head, so we shot that in BC Place, which is where all the football and soccer games are held. And those are the two places I can really think of specifically that you should check out for sure.
It would be kind of cool if they did a Almost Human experience and just reassembled a headquarters set somewhere and you could walk through it, get yelled at by Lily.
Yeah, well, it could have gotten to that point. Who knows? But yeah.
Cool.
Okay, do we have any other questions while I'm resetting this up because apparently I'm like terrible.
So, Darren, like, how many martial arts movies have you filmed?
I've done some stunt work for in 2 Jet Li movies, Romeo Must Die, and also just did some. I just did some basic stunt stuff for War, or it was also called Rogue Assassins with Jason Statham and Jet Li. And then I did a Chinese film that got released about a year and a half ago called Game of Assassins in China. Basically, it would end up being like a TV movie. Did do a 1-week theater release, but that was the last thing I did that involved my martial arts. So.
How long have you been doing that? What kind of martial arts?
Did mostly sport karate, traditional karate throughout my life since I was 8. Right now I'm training Muay Thai boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at an MMA gym in Vancouver, just to stay in shape because, the older you get, the harder it is to stay in shape. So you got to keep pushing your body. You got to stay physically ready because, you never know when you got to get that call to do that role, and you got to be physically ready to do it almost right away. So, and my health is important to me, so I like to take care of it, of course.
Do you follow any kind of specific diet regimen, or is it just what you?
Eat healthy. I eat healthy during the week most of the time, and then Sunday's usually my splurge day where I just eat whatever the heck I want. I don't really eat fast food anymore. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat Burger King or anything like that anymore to do with fast food. I try to keep my eating as clean as possible. But Sunday, like I said, is usually my splurge day. I have my small little mini tub of Haagen-Dazs, which is my favorite flavor, is caramel cone explosion. So they just brought that back recently into Canada, so I was pretty ecstatic about that. So
What was it like filming in China?
it's completely different. There's no unions and people don't get paid very much, and so often safety is not an issue on the set sometimes. So it's very different. It's very eye-opening, but you get to see people who are working as hard or even more hard than crews in North America would and getting paid way less, but they're just happy to have a job, So it's definitely an eye-opener. It heightens your sense of gratitude when you come back to film something in Vancouver or the U.S. for sure.
I saw one of the other questions, and Darren, you can answer this as well if you want. Somebody asked, if you had to choose a movie reality in which to live the rest of your lives, for example, Hogwarts, Middle Earth, oh, there it is, Walking Dead, etc., which one would it be? Well, not Walking Dead, certainly.
Yeah, I know, that'd be scary.
Hogwarts would be fun. Yeah, I don't think I want to live in Almost Human 2048 land either. Not with those crazy automated homes that might kill you.
Does that have to be human?
That's a good point. Like, what were you thinking?
Because if it doesn't have to be human, I would say I want to be a transformer for sure.
Ah, nice. Thinking outside the box.
I've always said I'd like to be reincarnated as a transformer. I mean, Transformers are just cool.
Think
you could be a certain car, and then if you don't like that car anymore, you can just upgrade to the latest model, and you transform into a robot. You just get scared the crap out of people and blow things up. So hey.
Hey, look,
so what kind of car would you be?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one.
I think I would definitely.
That's a real.
Like could be
something expensive for sure.
Yeah, could drive, fly, and go in the water. And just as a guy.
Yeah, I'll be environmentally friendly. I'll say a Tesla.
Oh, yeah, there you go. If we can be any sort of transformer, yeah. Just as a guy in his 40s, I'd be nice to be able to replace parts.
Yeah.
A new knee, perfect.
Yeah.
Or I could choose, or I could be on that in the movie Elysium as long as I was one of the rich people with all the nice stuff.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, working down on the planet for nothing. Can I ask a question? Sure.
Okay. Here's my other question. Let's see if we're, as long as we're, in a fantasy world. Let's see. If it were possible for you to, and this is a question for both of you, if it were possible for you to genetically enhance your child with extra intelligence or, looks or charisma, would you consider doing so? Or would you go ahead and do it?
That's an interesting question. It's like an interesting, ethical question. I think the most. I'd like to think that I would just eliminate bad. I wouldn't add good. Like if I could make sure the kid wouldn't get sick or have these ailments, just bring him up to neutral, and then he can be. I don't want to change his looks or his personality, but just doesn't get sick, sure. And that's about where I'd stop.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, when you're talking about that, you're talking about messing with God. I won't swear. I mean, I would swear when I say that, but you're messing with God and what He creates or whoever the Creator is. That's what you're messing with. I mean, people are born with what they have, and they have to make the most of it. So that's what I really loved about the one episode about Detective Stahl. When it was revealed that she was a chrome, which is basically a genetically enhanced human being from birth. Which supposedly they would label as being given a gift, but no, I don't believe in that. I mean, let's just let's let the cards fall where they may, and let human beings be born the way they're born and live their lives.
It's
All
interesting.
right. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for that question.
You're welcome.
All right, I finally have a new game set up, and
All
I
right.
eliminated the timer time limit thing, so we don't get kicked out again. So I'm gonna put it in the chat, put the link in the chat.
Oh,
And
thank you. Thank you, Tori. By the way, I know you're
password.
having issues here and there, but this is still far more technically savvy than I would be able to hold on. Right.
All right, Joe's in, Dana's in. Sociobon, are you going to play? It says you're just a spectator, so if you want to play, you're gonna have to like go out and come back in. Oh, so another almost human question. It's not the same as not quite the same as the Chrome question, but along the same lines. If you could be a cyborg, you know, I know Joe, you started talking about it would be nice to replace parts. So if you could be a cyborg, what would you replace, or what enhancements would you like to have?
It's funny. It's almost an extension of the last question, of Belinda's question. Like, you feel like sketchy, like, oh, I don't want to do this to a kid from birth genetically. Oh, but if I can just put some parts in me and like, oh, magic metal arm, sure. Man, yeah. Well, it's funny because like when I think of like, oh yeah, I can use just put in a new knee. I can do that. Like they have that. We have I can get a new knee if it comes to that. We'll see. Um, which cyborg? I
Yeah,
definitely.
but the needs that they have are like they only last like 10 years and they're not, yeah,
Oh
they're
yeah,
not
it's gonna
like
be some
superpower
plastic
needs.
thing that'll bring you back to like, yeah, it's okay, but not like I can jump on the top. I can't do parkour suddenly. Um, Yeah, I mean, I don't know what use I'd have for it other than just kind of messing around. Like I don't need to jump on, jump 4 stories up, but I think it would be kind of neat. I think it'd be one of those. It's like having a truck and people ask you to move, though. If you have like bionic legs and you're like, you can jump up to the fourth floor, people are going to ask you to move. They're like, look, I have this couch. I live on the fourth floor. Walk up. I really don't feel like hiring movers. You're like, all right. Becomes a whole thing. So probably I'm going to pass. I'll pass. It's just too much trouble.
Okay, your turn, Darren.
I'm gonna be evil, and I like to have like a little gadget like between my fingers, like a little electricity pulse, so that if someone just ticked me off, I just like zap them, give them like a little tase.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's all you
that's
need.
all I need.
Yeah.
Something simple.
You're talking
It's
about
kind of
like
like being able to shock people like naturally, but you got a little extra kick of voltage. And
yeah, yeah.
people will think twice before they say something nasty to you again.
You're just constantly full of a lot of static electricity.
Yeah.
Don't tase me, bro. Okay.
I'm gonna try that. I'm just gonna carry around just a remnant of some thick shag carpet, and if somebody bums me, I'll just run my feet along it and zap them real quick.
All right, we have 4 players in the Cards Against Humanity game
All
now,
right.
which is enough to start, but I would like to get 2 more. So if there's anybody watching that wants to join the Cards Against Humanity game, I put the link in the side chat bar, and I also put it on the YouTube comments section. And we had a question, Joe. How is your cat?
Thank you for asking. You know what? The cat that made an appearance on last year's Almost Human Fan Con, that was Fudge. He is gone. But I do have. Let's see if she's around. Hold on. Barbara. All right. This is I don't know if she'll stay put. This is Barbara. She's black, so let's see. There we go. This is this is relatively
Barbara?
Barbara. Probably play with that. Yes, Barbara. The got her from like a animal shelter type thing. She has a little dossier for each little like. Here's what this cat is like, and they described her as the funny girl. So I thought Barbara like Barbara Streisand.
All right.
Okay, so she's a little squirmy. But anyway, so yes, thank you for asking. This is Barbara.
That's adorable.
Who knew there would be cats on the internet?
Darren, do you have any pets? I know you travel a lot, so it's probably not feasible. But if you don't, what would you have?
No, I live with my buddy and I live with my buddy in Vancouver, and we have a pit bull gaudy dog. His name's Lucius. He looks fierce, but he is like the biggest baby in the world. I miss him right now. Actually, I've been away from home for 2 weeks, so I'm sure he's wondering where the heck I am. But he's just adorable. I do have some pictures on my Instagram with him, and I think on my Facebook as well. But yeah, he's really adorable. He's so cuddly and so loving, and such a ladies' man as well. So I really miss him, and I look forward to. I'll be back tomorrow, so I really look forward to seeing him.
I like the idea of the cat as a ladies' man. They have their smooth feline ways.
Pit bulls are just huge babies. I have a pit bull mix as well. Okay, Joe, the card game has begun. No
All right.
time limit to kick us out. Let's see. The cards are this round is you. So we will pick the cards, and then once you get all the choices, go ahead and read the black card in the MX voice, and then your choice or all the choices.
Right, but then figure out which
And
one
then
is
you gotta
mine.
pick one which you want to pick. Yeah.
Right now, I don't have the game up on. It just says still waiting for players. Have you started
Really?
it?
Yeah, I started it. Do you have the show game options? If you click that button, you like can hide the game options so the game options aren't up anymore, and it should take you to the actual game.
Um. Okay, and so now it says the black round. Oh, have you chosen cards yet or no?
No, there's no. Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
chose a card, but all the people have to choose
I've
theirs.
chosen
So.
a card too.
Because right now I just see waiting for players, and the black card for this round is blank. The white cards for this round is blank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
there's-
waiting for Judas to pick a card. This is mostly almost human cards. I did have to put in a different expansion, so yeah. We'll see.
This, by the way, is the other cat. This is Mr. Martinez. He's a little squirmier.
Oh, is he a Maine Coon? He looks
Maine
great.
Coon, yeah. He's a big boy.
Oh, I used to have a Maine Coon. They're so cute. They're just huge. They're just enormous.
He's a big giant giant. It'd be fun if I just had a never-ending stream of cats. Okay, here we go. I have the white cards, but not the black card yet.
It doesn't show the black card?
Oh. I don't know why.
That's
Is
But I
kind
it
of an
like
important thing to show for the cards are.
Yeah, you would think. It's
Is
just
the
it's
password
such a green card.
FanCon?
What is the black card say?
Is
It
the
says,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, the password's AHFanCon. The card says, did you use capital A, capital H, capital F, and capital C? Sorry, I'm like,
I have the white cards of moderate to severe joint pain, an emotionally compromised teenage girl, or bang bots. I think that's without even seeing the black card. That's probably going to be the one.
the black card says, I got the cerebellex procedure to increase my percentage of brain usage, but instead of psychic abilities, I got.
Ah, moderate to severe joint pain. That probably fits. An emotionally compromised teenage girl. Bang bots. Got bang bots. I got bang bots, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Should we try another round? See if the black card shows up.
So what is your choice? Oh
Oh,
wait,
yes. What was the so the I got cerebell, and all I got was
yes.
I
Instead,
think
I
as
got
much as I like Bang Bots, I think the choice, the one that fits, is moderate to severe joint pain,
yes.
because that's often a side
I
effect of
agree.
cerebellum enhancement or whatever it is.
Woohoo! I get a point.
Um,
This is really not going to work if you can't see the black cards though.
you know what though? If well, no, I was going to say this not cards. I was could you hold it up to the screen so I can see it. Try another one. Let's see if it shows up on the second.
I think you have to like click
Oh yeah,
on
I
the
can
white part.
spec. You know what? I'm going to spectate on this
Oh,
computer,
confirm.
and
I
that
see.
way.
Confirm selection. Yes, you are the card czar. That's all it says. Okay, card czar.
Maybe you need to
Here
like
we go. Now I see
expand
the black
your.
card.
Okay.
It lurks in the night. It hungers for flesh. This summer, no one is safe from. No one is safe from Mr. Martinez. It lurks in the night.
All right,
And
Joe, you're no longer the card czar this
oh, am
round.
I okay?
So,
So do I get to
but
pick one then, or
you get
select a
to click.
card to play?
Yes, you get to click one to play. You click on it, and then make sure you hit confirm selection.
See, now I have the black card, but I don't see the white card. Like it just shows two blank white cards.
The white card should be along the bottom
Yeah,
of,
they're along.
like
They're
above the
small.
chat part.
Let's see this. Show game. Yeah, that's because I go down to the bottom and I see like it's my screenshot is just a black card and three white cards that look like other people's things, but I don't see a white card that I can play.
Can you zoom out maybe? Do you need to zoom out of your screen? Like maybe it's too close so you only see like the top part?
Yeah, or
I'm
scroll.
not.
Can
I'm
you
not on
scroll
the
down?
tablet. I'm scrolling down. It's
Oh,
showing.
you're on a tab. Are you on a? You're on a
I'm on
tablet.
a laptop. Yeah,
Tablets are
I'm
a
on
pain in
a. So I apologize. Yeah. Sorry, I don't. I can see the black one, but not the white ones.
There's quite a few questions in the Q&A. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. That might fill the time.
Let's see what we got.
I'll click over them. Yeah.
The other. Oh, yeah, Darren. Marilyn's got some questions about Tumblr and some other things. Let's see. It was. She was asking about some of the other BC locations. Rudy's lab was in a church. The outdoor food court scenes. And then Darren, you joined Tumblr some months ago. I'm curious, what do you think about it?
Well, Rudy's lab was actually inside the studio. They had rebuilt something from a previous location, I believe, but Rudy's lab was actually inside the studio. Tumblr, I just connect it to my Instagram. Whatever I post on Instagram, I'll connect it over there or I'll forward it and share it over to Tumblr after. I don't generally use it very much. I find Instagram a little uh, more people use it, and there's a lot more you can do with it, I think. Tumblr, I haven't really explored it too much. Like I said, I just use it to. I originally found it because I found some stuff of mine, like just pictures of me up there posted by fans, which I thought was really cool. So I felt like it was my obligation to at least open the account and be there if anybody wanted to post anything or tag me, which is really cool. So.
I believe Marilyn was asking, like, you know how you're telling us where one of the locations was in Vancouver. She was asking if the outdoor food court that some of the scenes were in, whether you know where that is, that fans could go check it out or something.
Outdoor food court. You mean where Kennex and Dorian ate all the time? They ate noodles, or?
I don't know if she means that, or I think there's like just various food cart shots, or I don't know, like where stuff happens. I have no idea.
I know they have some shots in various restaurants. If they're talking about where Kennick's and Dorian always eats, like where Kennick's favorite noodle joint was, that again was just a studio.
Now I want noodles.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
Joe, it looks like were you not able to ever see the cards?
Let me
This is
look back again.
unfortunate.
Sorry.
I'm
Um,
gonna. I'm.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to see it for some reason. Not able to see the white cards anyway. Like I can select them, or I can click on them, but it never even says confirm selection. There's nothing on the white card.
okay.
And I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
because the white cards at the top are what other people have picked so far, and then
fine.
below it there's supposed to be a row of like your hand.
Right,
But
and I scroll down. There's nothing. Sorry, I don't.
Hey, Darren. Sorry to interrupt. I have Instagram open, and where can I find you on Instagram?
You can find me on Darren DARREN _E _SCOTT. I just posted some cool pictures last night. Actually, I was in a friend of mine shares the same office space as Stan Lee, so she took me for a tour of his office while he wasn't around. Apparently, he's really cool about that. So I just posted a couple pics of that. So it was really a cool moment in my life yesterday for sure.
All right. Thank
Sorry to
you.
make everyone jealous, but
Stan Lee's. That's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool meet right there.
yeah, it's a pretty simple office, but it's really cool at the same time. So he's got like a full size Spider-Man in there, and yeah, it's really cool. It's not what you expect. It's very small, very simple, but you can tell it's where all his creativity was where all the creative juices flow, I
Yeah,
should say.
it's
What
nice
was
to
your
see.
sorry, what's your Tumblr again? Because I don't have Instagram.
My Tumblr. Very good question.
should
Let me
just be
check.
Darren E. Scott.
Um, I'll tell you in a second. That's how often I use it. Yeah, it's just Darren E. Scott actually, just all lowercase, DAREN ESCOTT. There's no slashes or dashes or underscores or quotations or
Is that a double R or just one?
double R.
And Darren, I don't know if you can see on the Q&A, someone asked, did you do the stunt of the falling out of the car bit, or was it a stunt performer that did that?
I did the initial. That's a very good question, actually. I did the initial rolling out of the car, yes, and then after that, they just shot a plate of me, and everything that happened on the highway was just all CGI. We had like some of the best CGI artists on that show. The work they did was just amazing. Because a lot of people, they knew obviously it wasn't me rolling on the highway, but if they were figuring, well, that's a pretty good stunt man, like But I was like, yeah, like my stunt double was like, yeah, I thought I was gonna actually be rolling out onto the highway and they would cut and then do the rest in CGI, but they didn't get me to do that. Like I just rode in the car, so it was pretty cool. Yeah,
Nice. So there
I had
wasn't
some
a,
stunt experience, so I know how to roll and fall a bit, so it worked out really well.
so wasn't it was there was never a point at which there was like a dummy that they'd made up to look like you?
No, it was a green screen. They make stunt pads and stunt mats like green screen color. So they just lay it on the ground, and then I just would fall onto that, and then they would just wrap a cable around me to kind of yank me to get me to do a bit of a twist as soon as I came out of the car,
Yeah.
and then they would just basically like pull the mat back until they had no more green screen mat there, and then the rest was all CGI. So it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
It's fun when it's like a combination of high and low tech, like it's CGI, but it's still like a dude with a rope pulling you from the waist to come, yank you out of the car.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was really cool.
I did commercial once. I'm not a stunt guy. I'm not a martial arts guy, but I did some wire work on a Swiffer commercial where they didn't even tell me if there was going to be wire work until that day, but I'm dressed as just a big piece of dust, and they have to
Oh,
hoist me on the thing and yank me up into the air, and it was fun for the day. I don't think I want to do it.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Have you, question for Darren, have you ever done wire work in any of your martial arts movies?
Yeah, I did wire work for The Man with the Iron Fists. That came out a couple of years ago. It was directed by Reza of the Wu-Tang Clan. Had a really good scene with Rick Yoon, who played X-Blade, so I had a really good wire sequence there in the end, just before my death scene. So definitely check it out. It's a really cool film. It's a homage to old school Chinese and Hong Kong kung fu cinema. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's definitely going to be a cult classic that's going to be remembered as a cult movie for sure down the road.
Say the name again.
The Man with the Iron Fists.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been
yeah.
on my list to watch.
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
was a Quentin Tarantino production as well. So that's it was really cool.
remember seeing the promos for it. They look really good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite martial arts movie that you've worked on, or any project?
That would have to be it for sure. The Man with the Iron Fist. I was a big part of it. I had a really good character, and there was just a lot of really good fight scenes. It was the choreography was done by Corey Ewan, who's used to run Jet Li's stunt team, and he did like some of the Matrix stuff and Romeo Must Die and Rogue as well. Rogue and War Assassins. Rogue Assassins War. Sorry, there's two titles for that film, so that's why I get confused. But yeah, Corey's really good at what he does, and he's got tons of years of experience behind him, and he's just amazing to work with.
Well, I know we're technically over our time for what we had allotted, and I know you said you were going to be busy today, so
It's okay. I got time for a few more questions. I mean, it took me so long to get here. I may as well stick around a little bit longer. So,
sure. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing fine on time, and you say you had an idea for the game?
Yeah, I was thinking you could leave yours and I could put my screen up as like share desktop or whatever, and you could basically play as me, like I'd play for you. You could read it and pick the cards and stuff.
Sure, let's try it. How do I? So do I need to leave the game then?
Yeah, you leave the game and then I'll rejoin it, or I'll join it with one that I can play for you, or you can play for, and then
Well,
we'll
however
like
you want to do
basically
it. Sorry about
yeah.
the technical problems on my end.
But does anybody have any more questions for Darren?
What's your favorite martial arts movie that's like you haven't worked on?
I haven't worked on. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a really, really tough one. Um, my favorite martial arts movie. I'm going to say, actually, God, it's a toss-up between the Bruce Lee ones, to be honest. Because there's so many great fight scenes. I'm going to say Return of the Dragon, actually. I think the Chinese title was Way of the Dragon, but the Fox release was Return of the Dragon. Definitely, because that fight scene with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, both in their prime, was just one of the most epic. It is probably still the most epic fight scene in any kind of martial art film ever. There's no wire work, there's no BS, CGI. It was just pure raw martial arts, two guys fighting, and I even heard that they were actually hitting each other sometimes, whether it was by accident or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely the top one of my favorites for sure.
Do you have a favorite, Joe?
I think obviously not coming from a martial arts background, and that makes me I do want to check that out now. But I loved Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I know it was all about wire work and not really earthbound stuff, literally and figuratively. But I thought it was beautifully done, and both the fight stuff and also just the story around it. I thought it was I really liked the way they did that. I see we have a youngin on there, Melinda. I see it in the orange shirt. How you doing, buddy?
Say hi. This is Mason. We watched as a family, Almost Human. So he was around for the whole thing, and he's never been in Google Hangout or anything, so this is kind of a big deal. You want to say hi or anything else?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hi, Mason. How
Hey,
are you doing?
Mason.
Now,
Thanks
Mason,
for watching the show. I appreciated it.
All
Are
right.
you an MX?
You an MX? I wish I could. I wish I
Let's see your cheek. Let's see if it goes blinky. No, okay. I don't know the lights.
I wish I would.
That'd be cool. What would you do if you were an MX? If you had like really good strength and were big and tough and half robot or mostly all robot?
I think I'd be sent out for the hardest missions.
The hardest mission. So you'd be like the elite MX, like the top of the bunch. I agree. I would send you out on some very important missions. We'll see if we can't make that happen.
Mason,
That would be really cool.
do you have any questions for Darren or Joe, Mason?
Actually, no.
It's all good, man.
I'm gonna try and think of some.
Okay.
That's
All
okay.
right.
Nice
If you do, come back to us.
Thanks, guys.
All
for
right.
giving me that time.
Of course.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
All right. Any other questions for Darren before we attempt this game now?
I can't think of any.
We got some shy fans and
That's all right.
time zone problems, I think.
Somebody, okay, I don't know if you've seen this. I noticed, Marilyn, I noticed that the MXs have a funny gait, Gait. Do you guys wear something that make you walk like that, or was it something they asked for you to do?
Funny what?
A gait, a certain walk. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a crossover between being a robotic kind of walk but being human at the same time. I remember that was discussed quite a bit with how we were supposed to do that, but I think we all just came into our own eventually. Yeah, that's basically what was the premise. Not too robotic, but not too human either. So it was just kind of like, split the difference and make it work. So
That was a similar direction as to what I got for the vocals. Just somewhere between the humanness of Dorian and a complete sort of robot, somewhere in the middle there.
yeah, and I sensed that because I remember like hearing that voice for the first time. I was like, okay, dude, it's a very split the difference kind of voice because you can't tell whether these MXs are they going to stay loyal or are they going to flip and snap on you eventually? Like, what's the deal? It was really cool the way that you split the difference on that. That's the first thing I noticed when I heard it.
Nice. I think that would have been a good future episode, like drama point of like not knowing whether the MXs were still under the control that they should have been in. Like, what if they go haywire or self?
Well, I think they were leading into that because there was one episode that ended that way. Like Kennex was talking to Maldonado and made a quick joke about blowing an MX's head off, and then they cut to like a look from myself and a look from Garfield and a look from maybe it was just a look from Garfield, but it was a look like what the hell, It was very interesting. So I think they were leading into that.
We were just talking about that at one of the episode streams last night. Yeah, he makes a joke where he says, or where Maldonado says, "Thanks for not destroying any MXs today, John." And he says, "The night is young," and then it cuts to Garfield, who's like,
Yeah, he just gives that evil look. Garfield had the best look. It was just like, oh my god. With those contacts he had in, it was just.
Yeah, that was.
I even had problems looking at him on set sometimes. Like, dude.
It's hard to have a casual conversation with somebody looking like that. I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, he's a muscle built, very strong, scary looking guy sometimes. But he's got the biggest heart. He's a family man. He's got 3 kids. He's a great father. But you look at him, he looks a bit intimidating. And then when you stick those contacts in, it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, I bet he comes home after work in the full MX regalia with the contacts in the outfit. And he tells his kids to clean up his room. They're going to clean up their room.
Yeah, pretty much. But and he's got a yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, we had some fan discussion earlier also, where somebody asked whether it was determined to have the blue contacts for everybody because Michael Ealy has blue eyes, or if that was just the idea to have all the.
Well, I know they had different. I mean, the colors that they had for each of us was different. I think they did definitely wanted a different look for each of us, like as far as the color of the contacts went, because we obviously had three different looks as well, and as well as Michael. But of course, the idea with Michael behind him with his character Dorian was to make him look as human as possible. Um, but with us, it was just a look. I mean, we did a lot of contact tests, trying different types of color contacts on, it was tasking because I didn't wear contacts and before, so it was comfortable having someone stick their finger in my eye all the time. Of course, as the show went on, I got used to it. But I mean, they were really expensive contacts too. They were imported from the UK. They ran at about $800 US a pair, and I had about two or three sets on hand at each time. Because the way they were made, they would curl and then they would have to be soaked in solution to kind of flatten out again. And so they would have to have another set on standby for me all the time. So
It's a lot of pressure if you just drop a contact lens. Like, oh,
it wasn't dropping it. It was a pressure of because they knew sometimes it wasn't comfortable, so we had to take them out and rest our eyes. But they're okay. We need you in the shot. We need you close up. We need the contacts in now. It's like Jesus, like the lens tech had to work pretty fast to get them in. She did a great job, Deb, and I really miss working with her as well. But she really stepped up when she needed to, and got it done. So, but that was probably the most challenging part, was trying to get the contacts in right away. Like, okay, we're doing a shot. We need you in the shot. We need your eyes, and like, damn. So.
We got another question. Sending it to the top a second. From Agnes. A favorite plot twist of mine. Due to a virus, MXs start feeling things. How do you imagine them reacting to this? If you could write an episode about this, how would it go?
it seems like an appropriate on the tail of Leonard Nimoy dying. Let me just say that. We can do this.
Yeah. I think it could have led that way. I don't know. It's possible that, because John Larroquette's character, hopped over the wall with all the synthetic soul tubes, and maybe that sort of thing would have come back. Maybe there would have been like an MX kind of army coming back with a little more soul and more human emotion than the MXs. Or maybe the MXs would have developed human emotions down the road. I don't know. I always kind of picture, maybe down the road, like season 3 or season 4, maybe they just take my MX and make him into a detective and make him a little more human, but he still has his eyes, but he just has hair and stuff, but he still has like cheekbones and the same colored eyes. But that was just, me daydreaming.
I did the same thing. I'm like, well, if this keeps going, like I had a thing like they could do a flashback scene of the guy who ended up doing the voices for the MX before they came, before the MXs were actually invented, like just some dorky nerd, the coder, the programmer, like, I guess I'll just program my voice in it, and
Yeah.
want to make extra. That's a very actor mindset to, like, how can this little bit of work turn into a whole lot of work for me?
Yeah, well, we were living a dream, but we were still dreaming of more. So.
Yeah, no, that's well put. Well put.
Yeah.
Okay, we got another question. This is kind of joint from Marilyn and Mary. Was the makeup uncomfortable? Did it take long to apply? And the MX uniform, how was that?
The initial makeup test was, for me, it was 4 hours. But it was supposed to be 2, but when we applied the prosthetics, that wasn't quite the way I wanted it, so they had to remove everything, remove all the face paint, and clean my face off and start from scratch. But once they got the makeup test done, it was just maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops every day. And if they needed to rush it and do it quickly, they were able to do that as well. The challenge was, because we first started shooting season 1, it was summer in Vancouver, and it was very hot. So the problem was the uniform to start was warm, and we were wearing t-shirts underneath, and then we were wearing military uh, clothing, and then we had to wear the combat vests on top, the military vest, and that's a full-on vest with all the bells and whistles on it. So that was a lot of weight, and it was warm. And the problem was, like, when our bodies heated up, the prosthetics would start getting warm, and then they would start peeling off. So it was a challenge for the makeup crew to keep us cool. So in between takes, they would have to come in and literally spray a fan in our face, and then the wardrobe would have to come in and stick ice packs down our backs and inside our shirts. And if it got uncomfortable during the day, we just had to change our t-shirts or whatever. So that was very challenging at the beginning. But once fall came around, and then of course winter, it was a breeze for everybody. But definitely winter time or summertime when it's hot, that was the biggest challenge for the wardrobe and makeup department for sure.
I guess even more than some other actors, they don't want to see an MX sweat.
Well, I mean, we had extras playing MXs too, and one of them actually was a good friend of mine. He passed out and he got sent home because it was too hot.
Yes.
There was overheating issues, so that it wasn't just Garfield and Anthony and myself that the crew had to attend to during those summer shoots. It was the background people as well who were playing the MXs. They had to take care of them as well. Because like I said, the suit was heavy and it was very hot. So, but I enjoyed it. Good war story.
Joe, looks like there's another question for you. Did you see it pop up?
I saw a couple. I said, well, one is, oh yes, Joe, would you like to have would you have liked to play an emotional MX? Yeah, I mean, it's, again, what I do is starts with what Darren and company do. So, just the challenge for me to just be to kind of match what they're doing. But it's interesting because I think as much as it would be fun for me to play, like, you have a little more range of emotion to play if the MX's range of emotions was wider. But I kind of like the MXs as they are, because that kind of what sets Foreman apart, is that he's the one who's special and who's closer to being human and who has, is somewhere in between. And the MX, as much as they're interesting, complicated characters, and I would love to see an MX uprising, an MX, something go wrong. I kind of like that they're a little cooler and logical, except maybe, as you were saying, like almost a little spite or revenge or something. One of them taking it out on Kennex at some point would have been interesting.
You could be like a little rent MX that everyone just picks on, and you never get to play with the MXs. So
then they just go bananas and lose it at some point.
I never get to play with the MXs. It's not fair.
Like a fourth MX, just a little short. Hey guys, wait up!
Yeah. Yeah, no, you stay behind and watch the MX chamber. We're gonna go out and kill some people.
Yeah, you stay here and watch our stuff.
Yeah, stay here and watch the stuff. Stay here and watch the gear. Don't touch anything.
Well, he tinkers with something. And Agnes asked me a question. So I'll just read it. She's at Joe. So porno mime, tell us all about it. Evil smirk. There was an audition that I went on years ago for some project called Porno Mime, which is more or less what you think it is. It's just a story. If you Google Joe Smith and Porno Mime, it'll come up with a short story. Not safe for work reading material, but a funny audition experience. Darren, I'm sure you can attest. You audition for, you go to auditions sometimes and you say, what is this project that I'm auditioning for? What is this crazy thing? Obviously,
yeah.
Rate really above board, on the level project, but then sometimes you go out for just other bizarre things. You have to just kind of shake your head as to what your life has become. Oh yes, so that's that. And sorry again about the Cards Against Humanity thing. I really like that idea, and I like the idea. I love the idea of being able to make your own. I'm sorry that's not been working out.
That's okay. I can do I can do this thing, the card game now if you want.
Oh, I see. Okay. It lurks in the night. It hungers for flesh. This summer, no one is safe from Benny and the Jets and MX-43, John. It's not thematic to this chat, but I do like. It lurks in the night. It hungers for flesh. This summer, no one is safe from Benny and the Jets. But Benny and the Jets.
It that is that is thematic because Benny and the Jets is actually one of the songs that Dorian sings. So
Oh, there we go.
that's
That's right.
why it's in there.
Benny!
Benny and the Jets.
All
Uh,
right.
Marilyn, I
Let's
can
see.
see you asking a question. Darren, did you have to audition or were you asked for the part?
I had to audition. I was actually in Singapore at the time working on just a commercial print ad job for HSBC, and then I was asked by my agent to put this audition on tape. It was a busy time, so it was hard to find the time to actually do it, but I just basically taped it and sent it back, and then within a few days I was told I was going to network for approval, which was really cool. So that doesn't really happen too often. Usually they want to bring you back and have a look at you again and talk to you and meet you, but they casted me directly off my tape, which was pretty darn cool because that doesn't happen too often in an actor's life.
That's great, man.
Turned out to be one of the biggest jobs of my career, so.
All
All
right,
right.
Marilyn had put, I joined the live phone call for like 10 seconds, but let me tell you, those are some amazing 10 seconds. Darren, know that you would be an amazing Transformer.
Awesome. Thank you. Just don't know if I'd be an Autobot or Decepticon. Hard to
Yeah.
say.
I think they should have some sort of like the sorting hat in Harry Potter. You put it on and it tells you what kind of Transformer you should be.
Yeah.
Can my kid ask another question?
Of course. Come on over, Mason.
Did you like being the voice in Almost Human?
Did I like being the voice? Was that the question of Almost Human? I did actually. It was a lot of fun. I got to go in and like I came in at the end, so I basically got to watch a little bit of the show before anybody else got to watch it, and then I would try to do my voice so it matched it. You can even do it sometime if you have like a favorite movie that you like and you know all the lines. You can turn the sound down and try to do the lines just as the people are talking and try to do the same thing.
He got to speak for all of us. Literally.
There we go. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I got to meet a few of the cast members. Were you still talking, Mason? I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, buddy. Oh, okay. But I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I had fun doing it. It sounds like Darren did too. I think everybody had a really good time on it. I'm glad you watched.
I am too.
Mason, if you think you could have been on the show, do you think you would have liked to have been an MX or a human or a police officer or a bad guy? What would you have been?
I would have tried to be a bad guy. I would have tried, but I think I'd be ending up as a police.
Melinda, could you repeat the answer if I didn't hear?
Well, he said bad guy, and that surprised me, but
Yeah. I'm picturing him right now as like this little kid that the MXs are chasing around, and he's got all these like little booby traps set up for them, and the MXs just can't catch this kid. I just picturing that right now. I don't know why. It's kind of cool.
Mason,
Home Alone, Almost Human style.
Yeah, Home Alone kind of thing. It's MXs chasing the Home Alone kid, basically. Yeah.
Home Alone 2042.
They can't catch the kid.
Almost Home Alone. All right.
Almost Home Alone.
I can see. Let's see. It's really small. What's fun until it gets weird? I see. That's really small. Persuasive.
Yeah, let me see if I can make it bigger. Sorry.
That's all right. So many things are fun until they get weird. Oh, thank you. Percussive maintenance. Percussive maintenance. Mr. Friendly. Whatever a McRib is made of. Crazy opium eyes. Darknet. Cupcakes. Being inexorably attracted to a robot. Keeping booze in your desk at work. Elton John. What kind of Elton John theme going here?
This
All right.
This is a
You can make up your
fill in
own.
the blank, yeah.
Right. I think my favorites are what's fun until it gets weird. cupcakes because it's so innocuous. Like, how is cupcakes getting weird? But I also like. Oh, let's see. Oh
You're
goodness.
you're not the czar, so you don't have to reread.
Oh right, I forget how this works. I'm sorry. Clones, robot guts. Was I supposed to have just picked one? Oh no, you're playing for me.
No, you picked cupcakes, so I picked it for you.
Okay. The secret formula for ultimate female satisfaction. That would also be the kind of the thing like having the pickup truck and they have friends are moving. Like once you know the secret formula, your buddies are going to be asking for it.
You win, Joe. I'm the card czar, and I chose cupcakes, and that was your choice.
Oh, thank you very much. Do I get a
You're
cupcake?
such a suck up, Melinda.
Yeah, talk to Rudy. Get the 3D printer going.
Yeah. Intimate liaisons with blank can lead to blank.
Okay, so you're the cards over this round, so other people are gonna have to pick, and once they confirm, then you can. Let's see. Oh man, I got the best. I got the best, absolute best choices.
I did mine backwards.
Oh, that's okay. Well, see now I'm not seeing other people's choices yet.
Not everybody's done.
Okay.
Yeah, I accidentally picked the second one first.
Okay, I'll read yours backwards. Well, I'm assuming. Okay, I don't know if they'll be identified
That's
as
Dana, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're waiting for Judas to pick their card. She's not in the hangout.
Mine's the one that starts with flipping vans. That's supposed to be
Oh,
second.
nice. And I again, Tori, I'm sorry, I'm seeing blank white cards. I don't know if that's.
No, that's because we haven't gotten all the answers in yet. I think one of the players hasn't.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so flipping vans should be first, or that should be second. The flipping vans.
Yeah.
Okay, so intimate liaisons with olive oil can lead to a fart. I think we all learned that. Intimate liaisons with DRN can lead to a happy toaster. Certainly, it's the toaster. Intimate liaisons with a dance move that's just sex can lead to flipping vans. And intimate liaisons with the Luger test can lead to my worthless son. And is this my turn to pick, or is that Tori's?
No, it's your turn to pick.
Okay.
Since I'm playing for you, but yes.
The cards play that I think intimate liaisons with.
Hard.
I think a dance. I think I do like yours, Dana. And a dance move that's just sex can lead to flipping vans because obviously something went awry with the dance move that's just sex that got you so riled up that you just have to flip a van.
I actually I think you can pick whichever two you want. You don't have to pick the. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
It does pair them automatically. Never mind. There it goes. My bad. Okay, but I have to say the reason why mine was actually the best is because I don't know if you remember, but they call Dorian a happy toaster. So.
Oh, I did not remember that. Very good.
That was pretty good.
Uh-oh, why is my screen share not working anymore?
You just pressed the wrong tab.
Yeah, I'm seeing the schedule now.
Oops, my bad. Sorry. Okay, let's go back. I thought it was going to be
The worst person.
There you go.
Blank looks cleaner than Rudy's colonoscopy.
Okay, so do you remember your cards that you had in your hand? Let's see. Your new card is this one.
Okay, so the tiniest shred of evidence that God is real. Oh, I see. That's the other.
Then you have the other cards.
Okay, blank was cleaner than Rudy's colonoscopy. Let's see what we got. Oh, I think that whatever a Mr. McRib is whatever a McRib is made of, looks cleaner than Rudy's colonoscopy. For somebody else's, that's just my choice. Then somebody else gets to pick. Is that the deal?
Yes. Okay, we're waiting for Judas again. Gosh, Judas.
I love that they still have to have the little registered trademarky type of symbol next to the McRib.
Darren, do you want me to let you go now? I'm sorry. You're just, I guess we don't have any more questions for you, so. Oh, wait, no, we did have one.
I
Let's
see,
see.
yeah, one there.
Sorry. Darren, how many hours were you on set when recording an episode?
It could have been anywhere from 4 hours to like 12 hours and a little bit past that. It would just depend on what was required. It definitely wasn't as long as Carl Urban and Michael Ealy's days. Their days were always, the majority of their days were about 12 hours, I think. And they're, of course, required to be on set every day. So.
All right.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be a long day.
didn't see any more questions.
See, Oprah's book of the month is blank for blank, Story of Hope. Oh, are these? Oh, see, these are still my cards. Okay. Blank Story of Hope. Sorry. So, let's do Shirley Detectives. Shirley Detectives for maybe Mr. Friendly. Mr. Friendly for being inexorably attracted to a robot.
I approve of these choices.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, this is almost human reference. John Dorian calls John Mr. Friendly in one of the episodes.
And it does sound like it's you would need hope to be inexorably attracted to a robot. You just need to remain hope. So Oprah's book of the month is Mr. Friendly. Is Mr. Friendly for being inexorably attracted to a robot. A story of hope. It sounded like a Lifetime, movie of the week. A heartwarming tale of a man. Oprah's book club for the month is Party Mexicans for Synthetic Souls. A story of hope. Oprah's book of the month is Extorting Used Biotech Organ Recipients for Killer Androids, a Story of Hope. Oprah's book of the month is Rudy for Fox, a Story of Hope. Even Rudy holds out hope of a return for Almost Human.
Uh,
Oh gosh, this
okay.
is hard.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to choose.
That's all right. I'm going to take a sip of water while you choose.
Darren, what's your vote for?
It's a tough one. Yeah, I can't figure out.
I'm gonna choose this one just because I can just imagine like biotech organ recipients, and then they turn into like these evil androids because the biotech organs like make them go crazy.
That's right. Wasn't there? There must have been a horror movie about that. If someone gets like a serial killer's organs and it makes them want to kill people or something.
There's an anime.
There's a
yeah.
There was a Supernatural episode where they actually like got this guy's heart, and he was like supposed to be like a servant of this like Aztec war god. So then they all were like people who got his organs were like now like compelled to serve this war god by like killing people.
That's totally happening.
Dana, I don't think you actually confirmed your selection because it's not
Really?
It's not going on to the next round.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
And Darren, it says not a question but an idea. You have an invitation. Venice Film Festival next September. Darren, why don't you come visit us? From Agnesi, who I'm assuming is in or around Venice. So, dude, you gotta.
Oh, sorry, the audio was cutting out there.
Oh, that's right. I just you on the questions you have an invitation to come to Italy. Someone Agnesi, who I'm assuming lives there, says Venice Film Festival next September. Darren, why don't you come and visit us? There you go.
Oh, I just heard Venice Film Festival. That's all I heard. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's my mic cutting out. It's just somebody, Agnesi, one of the listeners here, chimed in, inviting you to. She said, "Why don't you come visit us?" I think she's in Venice, It says, why don't you come to the
Oh,
Venice?
okay, I get it. Well, I got to try to get a film in there, and then we'll see what happens. I'll see what I can do.
Well, you got a friendly face if you go. All right.
Yeah.
An MX-43 runs on blank compared to a DRN, which runs on blank.
You have two blanks to use also if you want to do that.
All right. All right, let's go for me. Let's go with Surly Detectives as the first one.
For the first one.
Please. And then for the second one, let's do a blank. And let's do, so you can just type it in. Is that the deal?
Yep.
Smartass comments.
Wonderful.
Everybody picking their thing?
Yep. The card czar is Judas, who's not in our little video part of the Hangout, but I believe she's watching. So.
Okay. Well, let's see. An MX-43 runs on Surly Detectives compared to a DRN, which runs on Smartass Comments. An MX-43 runs on Unquestioning Obedience compared to a DRN, which runs on Neil Diamond's Greatest Hits. An MX-43 runs on Garfield Wilson. Whoops. Something just moved on.
Yeah, she chose already. I think everybody
Okay.
loves your answers too much.
You can click on show last round.
Oh, yeah? Okay, let me see. Let's see.
Who created, Tori, did you create these homemade cards?
I created most of the fill cards, so like the white answer cards, but you know, that just required me to think about Almost Human, which I do anyway. But about half or more of the black cards were created by Melinda, and then the other ones were myself.
An MX-43 runs on Garfield Wilson compared to a DRN, which runs on Screaming Slug. And an MX-43 runs on Richard compared to the DRN, which runs on John's Cavernous Nostrils. That's a good band name, by the way. I really want to start a band name called John's Cavernous Nostrils. Oh, yeah, so what was the choice that was made?
Yours. Yours
Oh,
won.
okay. Oh, really? Oh, it wasn't.
Okay, the cards are, this round is Melinda, so you get to pick two more, oh wait, I have to go to current round. Two more cards. Valerie decided to become a cop after blank.
Just wait for everyone to submit their choices.
Cop after. Oh, I have a good one for blank. So another blank. Am I reading all these? I'm sorry. So yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't have to read all of them. Just tell me which one you want me to pick for you.
Would you do a blank, please?
Oh, a blank, yeah.
And Friday Night Lights was canceled. So Mika Kelly's one of the few people from the show that I did meet just real briefly as she was coming into an ADR session. I was heading out. She was very nice. All right. Valerie decided to become a cop after getting screwed over by network television.
Screwed over by what?
Network television.
Television.
Oh.
Valerie decided to become a cop after wirelessly hijacking the squad car. That's a good way to do it. Oh God. Valerie decided to become a cop after snorting coke off a clown's boner. Valerie decided to become a cop after having a secret and forbidden affair between human and machine. She's still human, right? She's just a genetically enhanced human?
Yeah.
Or Valerie decided to become a cop after Friday Night Lights was canceled.
Gosh, these are so great.
These are good choices.
What's your vote, Darren?
I'm going to stay out of that one.
Oh, she chose. Okay, so
Yeah, I chose.
the winning card was
Yeah,
I
sorry guys.
Get over
I
by
had
network
to.
television. That's all right.
I had to.
I would have picked that one too.
John's love of donuts is well known. What is less known is his proficiency at creating works of art with the powder that falls off his desk. That falls on his desk. His latest masterpiece is in the shape of.
Here the cards are, so I guess we gotta wait for
Oh.
Swayze.
So I don't pick one of my own if I'm the cards are. I just pick
Right.
amongst.
All right. Let's see. Oh, you don't have to reread the whole thing. Just
Sure. I'll reread it once and then I'll read the things. John's love of donuts is well known. What is less known is his proficiency at creating works of art with the powder that falls on his desk. His latest masterpiece is in the shape of jizz, a shiny rock that proves I love you, Valerie, Blackula, and Dorian's perfect nose. That does seem apt for a to do a sculpture of a nose out of a bunch of white powder. And yet, oh god. Valerie. Well, since and yet those last three are all good. I let's go with Blackula. Let's go with Blackula because that's a hard.
All
First
right.
of all,
Thank
it's
you.
tricky because I'm assuming it's white powdered sugar, so you have to be very detailed to be able to, have a little model be identified as Blackula when you're doing it all in white powder. That's a lot of talent.
hey, but Dorian's not exactly white either.
Oh, wait a minute. So Dorian did that? Or no, was it Kennex? Who's eating the donuts?
Kennex is eating the donuts, but
Oh, I
one
see.
of the choices was Dorian's perfect nose.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Exactly. Yes, exactly. So you would have to be like, this is white powder, but it's his perfect nose. I know a number of people, by the way, like who just when they heard that I were on that show, just oohed and awed over the two lead guys. They're like, they're so beautiful. The two are so beautiful. Dear leader Kim Jong-un, our village praises your infinite wisdom with a humble offering of. Thank you for going on. Offering of. Oh my goodness. Let's do scantily clad sex bomb.
Very appropriate.
Joe, Agnes just said on the Q&A that you're invited to the
Oh, thank you. That's very.
event. I know.
Thank you. I will echo Darren's answer. Like, oh, I guess I've got incentive to try and get a project there soon.
Sure.
I'll just come there and eat. Dear Kim Jong-un, our village praises your infinite wisdom with a humble offering of a scantily clad sex bot, the peaceful and non-threatening rise of China, douchey not Google glasses, Anthony Konecki. Konechny. Who's the cards are on this one?
What's
Oh,
your
yeah.
what would have been your vote, Darren? Anthony was just offered to Kim Jong Un.
Yep. He doesn't really have a choice in the matter, but they seem happy with him, so that's why he couldn't be here today. He's hanging out with Kim Jong Un,
Yeah.
doing his bidding, whatever
Singing fireworks. Singing fireworks by Katy Perry.
God, that movie was so terrible, but all right. Oops, wrong one. Okay.
Okay, I got a couple more in me, and then I may have to take off. All right,
Sure,
a
no problem.
series of crime sprees involving blank, blank, and blank are plaguing the city. All right, a triple one. This will be gonna. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's do a thing. Let's do crazy opium eyes, detachable eyeballs, and Sandra.
Agnes wants to know from Darren, of the cast, who did you spend the most time with? Was it Minka?
That's a good question, actually. I think I spent a pretty equal amount of time with everybody, to be honest. I probably spent most time with Garfield and Anthony, to be honest. But as far as the rest of the cast goes, it was pretty evenly split, I think.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, let's see what we got here. A series of, I don't know who this czar is, but here's your choices. A series of crime sprees involving crazy opium. Oh, sorry. Okay, a series of crime sprees involving crazy opium eyes, detachable eyeballs, and Sandra are plaguing the city. A series of crime sprees involving Mackenzie Crook, all the single ladies, and How Awesome I Am are plaguing the cities. A series of crime sprees involving In Syndicate, interspecies marriage, and smirking android are plaguing the city. A plague of smirking androids. A series of crime sprees involving Prince Ali, famous he of Ali Ababwa, actual mutants with medical conditions and no superpowers, and first order predicate calculus are plaguing the city. That's some high-minded stuff right there. All right. A series of crime sprees involving sharks with legs,
Oh, no.
a bunch of idiots playing a card game instead of interacting like normal humans, and a giant android dick are plaguing the city. Oh my goodness. Those,
You look so alarmed.
there's a lot
Yeah,
of good
Darren
ones.
looks alarmed.
Do you have a vote, Darren?
Over to you, Joe.
Oh goodness. I think there's something that kind of appeals to me. The one that with Prince Ali, Fabulous He, Ali Ababwa, actual mutants,
Yeah.
medical conditions and no superpowers, and first order predicate calculus, which I don't even know what that is.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
I don't know.
MX is run on. Is that?
All right.
The woman.
Honey, I have a new role play I want to try tonight. You can be blank, and I'll be blank.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh good, I don't have to choose. I just am the cards are.
Okay. Tori, could I please use let's see, I don't want to spoil it. Let's do that one, and then 3 back. Just to see how that, yeah.
We're getting all kinds of thank yous in the Q&A. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. It's there's a bunch.
Oh,
Suffice it to say,
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You guys are like our I don't know. You're special to us because you give us the time.
Thank you
It
for
means a lot. It sounds silly, but it does.
Well, I appreciate everyone's support, of course. So, and especially on social media, I appreciate everyone's support as well. So, thank you, and thank you in return.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for the support of the show long after it's stopped airing. So,
yeah.
All right. We all ready for this? Let's see. Honey, I have a new role play I want to try tonight. You can be Lily Taylor, and I'll be Elton John. Shouldn't take very long. Honey, I have a new role play I want to try tonight. You can be punching through walls, and I'll be bouncing up and down. It's a very, very popular weekend option. Honey, I want a role play I want to try tonight. You can be grammar Nazis who are also regular Nazis, and a shapely ass. I will be a shapely ass. New role play. You can be a manhole, and I'll be Michael Ealy. Very popular one. Honey, I have a new role play. You can be killing people to steal their faces, and I'll be injecting speed into one arm and horse tranquilizer into the other.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. This is getting extreme now.
I have some horse tranquilizer lying around. Oh my goodness. Let's do the grammar Nazis who are also regular Nazis and shapely ass.
You're
Oh,
not
Uh,
the card. You're not the card czar.
oh, I'm not the card czar. What am I doing? I'm sorry. It's
I
okay.
am.
Don't let me influence your decision.
Don't suck up, Dana.
Please disregard that last. Jury, disregard that last statement.
I did.
All
I mean,
right.
that was one of my ones, but then also, as much as I think Lily Taylor and Michael Ealy are beautiful, it's a little creepy to me to roleplay real people.
Okay. There it is. And yeah, not even the characters, the actual actors. All right. Don't put your blank in my blank.
Oh God.
uh,
Don't put your. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Put your.
Yeah, it's getting extreme.
Let's do,
God.
let's do depression and interracial handshake. All right. Don't put your night vision shades in my dumb criminals. I'm always saying that. Don't put your well-formed bicep into my dem into my dem titties. Don't put your finger innuendo into my blue balls. Don't put your depression into my interracial handshake.
This one's like not letting me select it very well.
It's getting kind of X-rated now, actually.
Oh, and don't put my little red amnesiac pills into my noodles.
that one's actually.
Once again, it's just keeping me want to eat noodles now.
Anyways, I gotta sign off here. So
Thank you for coming. That's been awesome.
yeah, thanks for having me, Joe. It's been
Yeah.
great to meet you finally.
Great meeting you too, man. Good luck with everything.
The
Thanks,
man
Darren.
behind the voice, and yeah, it's been fun. And again, anyone who's still listening, thank you very much for all your support again. And please keep following me. I know something will come up for me soon, so just stay tuned, and I'll keep everyone posted.
Cool.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right.
Darren. This means a lot to us. I appreciate it a lot.
I means a lot to me too. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
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 Wrap it up in a minute too, but we'll do one more Cards Against Humanity. Might as well finish on the how am I compensating for my tiny penis.
Oh.
Okay, but Joe, you gotta read this last stuff in the MX voice.
Okay, I will do yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully Joe can remember the MX voice.
I'm not warmed up.
I'm the card czar. I'm leaving my microphone off. I'm not gonna mute myself. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna choose bomb collars.
All right.
He's another guy that I met in that episode of the with the bomb collar with the crazy guy who put whoever in it. I met him, David. I always forget how to pronounce his last name. Dalmonchain, something like that. Sort of creepy looking guy from that episode. Very nice guy in real life. All right. Everybody pick one.
Sorry, I'm still choosing.
All right, Joe, you can read them in the MX voice, and then after you're done reading, then I'll choose which one I think is the best.
Sounds good.
And it's the last round. Right?
I'm sorry?
It's the last round, right?
Yes, this
yes.
is the final round.
All right, so I get to be the
All right.
final decision maker. Okay.
How
Go
am I
ahead.
compensating? Sorry. How am I compensating for my tiny penis? The euphoric rush of strangling a drifter. Bomb collars. Donuts. Joe Smith. My perfect android hands. These are some really good choices. Some really good choices. Oh my goodness.
You suck up.
Bomb collars. Very nicely done.
Mm.
I promise I will not put anybody in a bomb collar today.
So
Well,
there's a
thank you
tie.
very much for doing this.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys very
Joe.
much. Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tori, for organizing. Thank you guys for being part of this. And hopefully there'll be, both with me and Darren, maybe in the same show, maybe not, but hopefully something new to spy us in soon both. And yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Say hi to Mason again for us.
I will.
Can
And
can I do one request, one MX voice request before we
absolutely.
let's see.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I don't need to be sharing my screen anymore. Okay, so there's a line from one of Asimov's robot books that Daniil, which is the robot, the android who looks very much like a human, says he's quoting actually his partner,
Okay.
and who's quoting the Bible. So it's like a Inception request here,
Thing within a thing within a
but
Russian dolls. Sure.
I'll type it into
Okay.
the Q&A. Oops, lost it. Oh, I can't submit a question to myself because I'm hosting.
Oh.
All right, I don't want to read. I don't want to say it out loud because I'll spoil it. So I'll type it in the chat.
Okay. Cool. And thank you, Agnesi, by the way, for your Venice invitation. I'll be right there. Okay, the last important question for the future of humanity: blue and black or white and gold? Is that a like a sports question? If it is, I'm the wrong guy. You should say yes.
It's a weird meme.
I'm not familiar with that meme. Sorry, so I can't help you.
Oh, the dress. Oh, I saw some people post pictures of that. I saw white and gold, but I haven't read all the things of like why it's different lights. It's a dress that looks different for different people. I can't give a proper answer to that yet. I'll take another look at it. But I saw white and gold from what people.
All right, I typed the quote into the chat now.
Okay, go back to the chat. Okay. Ha. Go and sin no more.
Thank you. That was
Very
wonderful.
apt after that card's after.
Sin all you want.
Come in.
Now we
Oh,
can
sorry.
end on that note.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for everything. Have a great weekend.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for
All right, I'm gonna make some FanCon announcements real quick then, since we're done. The schedule, of course, is posted on the Age FanCon blog, but we have a couple more fun things going on this evening. We have the first round of Draw Something Almost Human style, which is like Pictionary, only with almost human stuff. And that'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern in the iScribble.net Art Jam room. We have a very interesting panel for the topic of ethics and societal implications of Chromes. That'll be going on. The panel itself was posted to AHFanCon already, but so you can go ahead and read that if you don't want to read it and you just want to chat during the thing, you can. But the special thing about this live chat is that our panelist is going to be chatting in character. She wrote the panel in character as like a PhD professor on the subject, and so she'll be answering questions as if she were, that character from 2049 and had written that paper. So if you have any questions after you read the panel, definitely please come to the live chat and ask her some. You can also just talk about the paper, in character, or as if you were a Chrome yourself, or if you maybe were like a member of the media or a professional colleague. So those are just some ideas. You can also just come to the live chat and check out what other people are asking, and it should be fun. So that's at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then the episode streams and episode chats start up again at 7 p.m. Eastern. And finally, at 11 p.m. Eastern, we have another of this type of Cards Against Humanity over Google Hangouts, where it'll be one of our cosplayers who does the female John Kennex, or as we've decided her name is Joanna Regina Kennex. So we'll be playing Cards Against Humanity with her, and if, whoever wants to join in, that should be fun.
Cool.
And if there's enough interest after that, we'll have another round. So that's what's going on today at the FanCon, and I hope everybody gets a chance to participate in some things and is having a good time.
That sounds really cool. I got to split. Have fun with that, and thank you again, guys.
Yeah, thank
Sorry,
you.
Joe.
That's
I didn't
okay.
mean
I
to
didn't
hold you.
realize I didn't mean to interrupt you. All right, see you.
Have a great
Bye.
day.
Whoops, that was supposed to be like my spiel after Joe already left, so now I feel really bad.
No.
All right,
Don't feel bad.
enjoy the rest of the FanCon, guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.